Hey guys, I'm Exodia, and this is going to be part 4 in our placement system. What we're planning to accomplish is adapting our placement system to use multiple objects to place at once, as well as making it to where we can place objects on different ground types. Now, as you can see, I have this new improved menu with 2 buttons on there. We're going to use our button we before used to place the chair down to open up this menu. And then we're going to have these 2 buttons here show up in this menu. We could exit out of that with this button. Then I also have this new bush model with a base and a hitbox. And then I have a grass tile to place the bush on, whereas we're going to place the chair on the metal tile. And so to do so, I adapted my GUI with a new frame for this, and the button for the chair and the bush. Then I have a ground and object string values. These are going to be important later because we're going to use them so we know which ground we're supposed to be placing the objects on. And yeah, let's get into our local script and edit it around. So first we're going to make a new variable called local GUI open equals false. This is just going to be so we can click on that open button. And so we'll also actually we'll do local open button equals actually we could just change our open button. We could change our place button to open button. Change this to open. And then we could go to the bottom here and do open button dot mouse button click colon connect function. If open equals false, then open equals true. And then we'll also need to make a variable for that object frame. So we have our info frame. We're going to do local object frame equals script dot parent dot object frame. So we're going to go back down here, and then we're going to set open to true, and then object frame dot visible will also be set to true. And by default, we're going to have this set to false for visibility. And then GUI open. Whoops, that's why this was underlined. My bad. So we'll do GUI open. If GUI open equals false, then GUI open equals true. Then we set our visibility to true. Else, if GUI open equals true, then we're going to want to set GUI open to false. Then set our object frame dot visible to false. This way it just closes the menu. And then so what we'll do is actually run a for loop, and we're going to put this all inside of a function. So local function start placement, or start object placement. And the parameter we're going to pass here is actually the object and the ground type. So object name and ground type. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot of name changing, but we're going to set this to clone object. And we're actually going to go wherever it's clone chair. So we'll do Control F to bring up this menu. So we can just type in clone chair. Go all the way to the first match. We're going to do a little bit of renaming. So clone object. Clone object. And the reason we are doing this is because, and this was a mistake on my part earlier on, but we did not really, we're kind of making the placement system specific to only one object at a time. This, however, will not cause any confusion if you're going back in your code, like maybe time advances and you don't touch the code and you want to know what everything does. Also, it's just good to generalize it in this case to be more organized. So, and then also after we finish renaming everything here, we will then run a for loop with the object frame. And then we'll get these two buttons, make sure that it's the button specifically. So we'll do like if the GUI object, or if the object is a text button, and text button, maybe we could do colon find first child ground or object, so we know which one of our buttons that we're clicking to place an object. So first we gotta finish up renaming everything. Oops. Oops, actually, let's, okay. So clone object. So also here, while we're at it in this start object placement, we're gonna, if workspace colon find first child, colon find first child object name, not objects placed, colon find first child object name equals nil. Then we'll do clone object equals replicated storage colon find first child object name. Then we're going to clone that. Then we can keep on renaming this. Sorry, this is a bit sloppy. Had I prepped in advance, we would have used clone object from the beginning. In fact, I don't even need this line of code. So clone object, and I believe that's the last one. So there we go. Got this fixed. So we're gonna fire a clone object, and let's also pass the ground type here in this function, because what we're gonna want to do in our fire array method is pass the ground type, and then check. In fact, we'll also pass the button that we click on. So we'll do button. Oh wait, no, we could just, I know, yeah, never. The ground type will already pass there. So we'll just check in our fire array function. We'll just check if this equals ground type. Then we'll place on the mouse position. Everything should run like normal. So yeah, let's actually get the code to work. Which, to do so, we're going to create a for loop. So for blank, because we don't really need a number for it, so we can just do for blank GUI object in pairs object frame colon get children do if GUI object colon is a text button. If you use image buttons here, because you can customize this GUI however you want, if you have image buttons here, you can interchangeably use image button, then you I may not need the next step for this, but if it's a text button and GUI object colon find first child object, we're just going to search for the object string value inside of each button. Then GUI object dot mouse button one click colon connect function, and then we'll fire start object placement, and we'll pass. So we need to pass an object name and the ground type. So what we'll do here is pass GUI object dot object dot value, and then GUI object dot ground dot value. And so this should actually work. We can test that as so if we want. So we'll put our new model in replicated storage. And let's test this out to make sure that our code is adapted and working just fine. So we'll open up the object menu. Oh, we actually don't need that X button, because we just have it to where we open this, which I'll also recolor that so there's no confusion with the buttons. Make that yellow. So we open up our menu, we place chair, and that's the next thing we'll do is when we start to place something, we'll just make that invisible. So we'll go here, and then we'll set GUI, we'll set object frame, not GUI, object frame dot visible equals false. GUI open equals false. There we go. And believe that's all we really need to do to adapt it this way. So I guess the next thing is that, okay, so our object still gets placed, but it doesn't think we can place it there. Let's make sure that we're not gonna have any issues there. Okay, that's an issue. So I found the source of our issue. Now the problem was that there was some confusion with our raycast when it was detecting which ground it was. So instead of having that ground value inside the buttons, I put it inside the objects. So this way, instead of just passing that ground type in our start object placement, we'll just use the ground type inside of our fire array, inside the object. So we'll just put it in our object, and we'll check, we'll fire the array based on if it's the clone object, that ground, that value is the hitpart.name, and then that way we place it, and that actually works better, which I'll show you in a second. Beforehand, one thing I'd also like to point out, which I forgot, is that there were some errors in the script, and off camera I decided to figure out how to get rid of all the errors so that our placement system is smooth. And I don't know if I showed this, not demonstrated, on a video, but in our snap, we're going to want to surround all of our code by an if statement, checking if placing equals true. Then I noticed that when I was getting errors with like placing objects and not having the primary part or anything, this seemed to fix it. And so then we'll just test to make sure that our script is working just fine. So we place the chair, and as you can see, we're only gonna get issues when we try to place them on the wrong tile type. And then I suppose the last thing I want to do here is just make sure we're not deleting it after tweening, because that was a bit annoying in my opinion. So here what we'll do is else fire array. Oh, we'll also get rid of grunt type there. We're just gonna wanna get rid of it here. So if clone object does not equal nil, then, whoops, meant to tab that. Then we'll do end, and we'll do the same thing here. In fact, I don't want to do that. We'll just we'll make sure that the tween is done. Yeah, we'll just do if clone object is nil. So we'll just check and message can tween equals true. So that way we just can't place anything while message can tween equals false. Then we won't get any issues. It'll be almost like a cooldown. So as you can see, actually, I don't know if that really fixed anything. Kind of just made more issues. So what we'll do to fix that instead is because we're calling the fire array. We'll just set a return, so local ready local can delete equals fire array colon clone. And so if it's a success, we'll return true. If it's not a success, we will return a false. And so if it's true, clone object does not equal null, and can delete equals true. In fact, let's set it to true either way. Oh wait, if we return before that, that'll get rid of our sim. So let's just get rid of the return there. And then, honestly, oh wait, this would actually return either way. Then we can't unbind these, so we'll just unbind them after each, just to be safe. And so if can delete equals true, then we'll just delete everything. Otherwise, we won't. Actually, else we'll just else. Whoops, else if can delete equals false, what we'll do is instead we'll just delete the object, but we won't set like placing or anything. We won't set the info for info. Yeah, actually we will. Yeah, we'll just return true first. I don't know why I made that a bit more difficult. But or wait, no, we won't return that here because we don't want to cancel the placement. My bad, there's just some confusion there. So let's just check if we're placing this in the wrong surface. Yeah, that's fine. And now that's not causing any issues. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay. And so that's really all I wanted to do for this video. I just wanted to make it so You could place multiple objects, you know, have a little bit shorter of a video because recently we've only had stuff that's like high 20 minutes or even 30 plus minutes. So I just wanted something under 20 since we haven't had that on the channel in a while. Also, we have a new outro and some new channel art thanks to Take This Taco. He's somebody I'm working with on a game, and he offered to make me some art for the channel and GFX stuff basically that I can use for banners and thumbnails. So I will link him in the description of this video if you want to check out his work and also maybe ask for commissions because he does commissions. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to do for this video. I just wanted to make it so we have 2 different tiles we could place on and place multiple different objects just so we have a smaller video than usual because I'm sorry about them being a bit long. I know it can be a bit harder to watch when they're so long. Anyways, that's it for this video. Part 5 will be out eventually. There we will definitely be making like a currency requirement if you want to have that for your game, as well as some other stuff I'll have planned out. So yeah, see ya.